Hello my loyal companions, welcome back to the channel and to another episode of Rogue Revealed, the series where I take you through everything you need to know about Rogue Company. In today's video I wanted to do a weapon breakdown of the new SMG, the Objection, exclusive to Dahlia, and give you a bit of an idea over the time to kill, recoil patterns and all the other stats that you want to know, like I did with my big SMG breakdown. If you do go on to enjoy the video, make sure you leave a like and subscribe to the channel, but for now, let's get into it. In this video I am going to go over the different damage profile of the weapon. I'm going to go over its time to kill, and they're going to compare the most realistic time to kill compared to the other guns in this same category of SMGs, and then we'll look at the recoil patterns, and from all that information I'm going to give you an idea of how strong this weapon is. A little bit of a spoiler though, it is very strong. It is probably going to be nerfed. I think it is borderlining the overpowered status of this gun. I think it is very good, and you'll see why as I get into these statistics. Okay, so starting with the damage profile for this weapon, you can see the body shot damage, the headshot damage, and then how the different range fall loss occur. So, starting with its body damage, at the closest ranges it does 11 body damage and 16 head damage. As you guys know, there are 2 damage drop-offs for every weapon, and for this gun, this SMG, the first one occurs at 9 meters, doing 9 body damage and 13 head damage compared to the 11-16 it did at 0 meters. The next damage drop-off occurs at 19 meters, where it then drops to 7 body damage and 10 headshot damage. The range of this weapon is actually the lowest in the SMG class by 0.5 compared to the SLC. When you fully upgrade the weapon, however, there is a damage range attachment, and when you do this, you add 3 meters to the different drop-offs. So instead of 0 to 9 meters, it becomes 0 to 12 meters, and instead of 9 to 19, it becomes 12 to 22. Once you get past the maximum range of all of these guns, so when you exceed 19 meters without the attachment or exceed 22 meters with the attachment, these numbers, the 7 body and 10 head, are consistent throughout. There is no end damage where it does 0. As long as you hit a shot at any distance past that range, it will be doing this profile damage. The fire rate is also important to look at. So I tested the 30 round ammunition. You can't increase this. It is only 30 rounds within this gun, and it dropped them all down in 1.8 seconds. That is a very fast fire rate, actually the fastest in the category and fastest from any other weapon that I've seen and tested so far, including the other SMGs, the ARs and the DMRs. Translating that now into time to kill, the single shot speed, so the speed it takes for one bullet to come out, is 60 milliseconds. Bear in mind 1 millisecond is 1,000th of a second. Now looking at what that means for time to kill, going from the lowest time to kill, which is all headshots at the closest range, compared to highest time to kill, which is all body shots at the furthest possible range, you get a really big mix. With 100 HP, so base health in the game, it takes 7 shots to kill someone, all headshots at the closest range, and that will be done in 420 milliseconds, which is ridiculously fast. That is less than half a second. When you then translate that into the longest time to kill, it goes to 900 milliseconds, which is 15 shots. Again, still under a second. Very fast time to kill. If we then scale that up slightly to if someone were to have armor or vi poison to get 125 health, it then goes to 8 shots to the closest range, which is 480 milliseconds, again very fast, and 18 at the longest range, which is 1080 milliseconds, just over a second. That's your sort of range to really understand how quickly you're going to be dropping people. Realistically, you're going to be dropping people sort of under a second if you're hitting all your shots, and that will play into the recoil we'll go over later on. But now I'm going to show you the realistic time to kill, which is pretty much all body shots at the different ranges, and compare that to the other weapons within this class. So here we can see the realistic time to kill, which is body shots over the different ranges, including the amount of shots it takes in the brackets here of all the other weapons. At 0 meters, their first damage drop off, then their second damage drop off. Then enlarged here is the Objection and its damage profile. And what you can see is at the shortest range, it takes the most amount of bullets than any of these, but it is competitive with the D40C, which is Shark's SMG, at 600 milliseconds, being the quickest time to kill within the category, tied. As you then increase that to the second range drop-off, so about 9 meters, again, it starts to become a bit more competitive. It takes the same amount of shots as the SLC, but its time to kill is the quickest in this class at this range, at 720 milliseconds. Going on to the last and maximum drop-off range, it requires the most amount of bullets that you need to hit at 15, 2 more than any other weapon, but again has a very competitive time to kill of only 900 milliseconds. That is slightly slower than the SLC, but is quicker than the other weapons within the class. These stats are best translated onto graph format, so I can show you exactly, so let's go have a look at it. So here is the graph. You can see the different weapons up there on the thing, and this black line that is going across this pathing with the purple tint is the new gun, the Objection. The lower the line, the quicker the time to kill, and that's what you want. And when they start to spike upwards like this, that is when the damage range drop-off comes in. What we can see from this then is the Objection remained again at the lowest during this time. It then peaks off at the same time as the LLC because of the range drop-off, and remains very, very competitive, only with the LMPX being better at this 9 to 12 meter range. And then the Objection becomes the best SMG time to kill wise in this, closely followed by the D40C. It then picks up again, and around this 19 to 22 meter mark, the other SMGs tend to be a little bit better. However, then the Objection starts to equalize out to be the second highest time to kill, as I said, at the longest ranges. In terms of time to kill, what this means is the gun is very, very competitive at pretty much every single range. There's no reason that you shouldn't use this gun at every single range compared to the other SMGs if you were trying to. So what really is going to distinguish this apart is going to be the recoil control, because time to kill is fairly consistent, fairly in line with the other SMGs. It's at the higher end of those SMGs, particularly good in this 12 to 19 meter range. So let's jump into shooting range to see exactly how strong this weapon is. I'm going to buy the SLC straight off the bat, so this has no attachments at all. I'm going to go over, as I did with the other weapons, stand behind here, and I'm going to test the recoil. I am not going to adjust for any recoil with my thumbstick here. Okay, if we go look at that spread, that is a very, very tight spread. Now, you will see in my video yesterday where I give you a guide on Dahlia, how broken the recoil actually is. But I'm going to show you once again here just so you can see. Here I am, I'm not adjusting for any recoil on my thumbstick. I'm just going to hold down the trigger. And it beams somebody at 40 meters without any adjustment from me in terms of recoil. The moment you put on a attachment for that, the first one reduces the recoil. You come back over to the target at 40 meters, again, no adjustment from me on the thumbstick, and you beam them even quicker. Now, that in itself is the reason why this gun is going to be so good. That recoil is absolutely ridiculous, but it's only good if I compare it, really, so you get an idea, to the other SMGs. I'm first going to compare it to the SMG with the least recoil, the LMPX. Going to go over to the 40 meter range. Again, I'm not going to adjust for any recoil over here. Aim about the same spot, no adjustment for recoil. And you can see how much more difficult it is to hit shots. I'll try it one more time for you. I'll aim here, no movement. It does hit the shots at the start, but then it starts to head up like that. If that Lancer wasn't half health, you know, she wouldn't have died. I'm now going to compare it to the gun it's most similar to, the SLC submachine gun. The reason for this so similar is because of the fire rate and damage profile and damage ranges. So this should be a very good comparison to the other gun very similar to it. Again, base upgrade, I'm going to go over to the 40 meter target, and I'm not going to touch the recoil button. I'm not going to change my analog stick at all. Here we are. So now, compare that to the one we saw beforehand with the Objection, and you can see how strong the recoil is. Now, I don't know why the Objection has such good recoil, considering it is an SMG that is meant to be for the very close ranges with a high fire rate and low damage profile. The reason it's so effective at range with this reduced recoil kind of confuses me, and is really why I think a lot of people are leaning towards calling this gun overpowered. I would definitely say I'm leaning towards that as well, and think it does need some sort of tweak or nerf, because it's just too strong at all the ranges with an incredible time to kill at every range and that level of recoil. Now, the gun does only have a 30 round mag, which is very unforgiving because you can't upgrade it. And with a gun with that kind of fire rate, 30 rounds go very, very quickly. You can most noticeably see this when you are tracking targets who are moving. Normally with an AR or something, if you're trying to track them, it may take 2 or 3 shots for your adjustment to actually get there, and you'll waste 2 or 3 bullets as you're trying to track them. But with this gun, due to the fire rate, you're actually shredding through more like 10 to 20 bullets as you're trying to track them, and that means you don't actually have enough bullets to get the time to kill you need at those on those moving targets unless you're really good at tracking them. So there's definitely a balance in that sense, but nonetheless, it's still so strong. This is definitely the best SMG currently. None of the other ones really are as consistent. If you get good with it, you're going to absolutely tear through lobbies. I've been playing Strikeout on stream all the time using this weapon and getting 20, 30 bombs every single game, going 3-0. You know, this is just such an incredible weapon. It's so strong, and I would definitely recommend using it. You've got the stats now to back up how strong it is, and I do imagine at some point it is going to get a nerf, so you may as well use it while it's still so strong. Okay then guys, that takes us to the end of the video. If you did enjoy and you like this kind of video, I will be doing more on the shotgun class and the pistol class. Originally I couldn't when I wanted to because there was some bugs with it. They have now since been fixed. So if you want to keep up to date with all that, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. You can also come follow me on twitch.tv/RadtharGaming to see more live game commentaries, guides, Q&As and competitive play, including some scrims and tournaments. All the links you're going to need are in the description below, but for now guys, I hope you have a fantastic day, and remember, be loyal, be brave, be relentless, and I'll see you in the next video.